because we're recording this. So good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this morning for our first Chamber 101 of COVID-19. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Bailey. I should change my name on my screen, but I am the marketing and event planning manager with the Chamber. I started back in April. I graduated from Simpson College in May. So that is lowdown on me. And I just wanted to quickly introduce you to the rest of our staff before we let everyone else introduce themselves. So I'll call people up and let them introduce themselves first. I'll let Catherine start.
Great, just really happy to be here and just want to share a little bit of patriotism with everybody. Obviously today is the voting day, but most of us have already voted, but just proud to be an American today. And it's going to be an amazing race, isn't it? Oh my gosh. But I'm Catherine Harrington, President and CEO of the West Des Moines Chamber, and I'm proud to serve and help our businesses grow during this very challenging time. So let me know if I can help you personally. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Catherine. Nicole can go next.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I'm Nicole Langmaid. Welcome to the Chamber, or welcome back if you've been with us before. I do the accounting and work with our vendors at the Chamber, so kind of everything operations side. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicole. And then Kara.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kara Matheson, and I am the Director of Workforce Development. It is early. And you'll hear a little bit more about what goes into that later today, but I've been with the Chamber for a little over 2 years now.
Yes, Kara's our veteran. And then lastly, we have Anna.
Yes, thank you, Bailey. It's nice I recognize a lot of names, so it's nice to be able to put some faces to those. So it's good to see all of you guys this morning. I'm the Director of Membership and Strategic Partnerships. So I know as you guys, most of you are new members as of this year. So I think I've worked with you in at least some capacity and look forward to working with you guys into 2021.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna. Well, now that we've all introduced ourselves, I would love to have everyone else introduce themselves to us. So the way we're going to do this is we'll do popcorn style. So I want everyone to tell us your name, your business, and something about yourself or your business. So we're going to start out with Paul.
I was working to get myself off mute there. Thank you, Bailey. So I'm Paul Scudham with Marco Technologies, and I've been working with chamber offices as an ambassador, but I'm going to chat about that a little later. But at Marco, I like to say that I help keep businesses' network infrastructure secure, from things like their copiers all the way to their cloud, and trying to do our best to keep the world safe in cybersecurity nowadays. So how about we jump over to Penny?
Thank you. I'm Penny Schmidt. I actually have two interests. I am a health coach with Optavia. So for the last almost 3 years, I've been helping people's genes fit better. And then recently during the pandemic, I decided to take another jump. And why wouldn't you want to start a new job during a quarantine? So that seemed like a great idea. So I started working with Country Financial. So now I'm also helping people on the insurance and financial side and protecting that area of their assets as well. So now, how's this work? I pick somebody. I pick Teresa R.
Hi, I'm Teresa Rademacher. I'm with Upper Iowa University, and we mostly work with non-traditional students and students who need degree completion. Let's see. Let's go with Tyler.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I feel like I work on like 3 different platforms, and the unmute is always in some different spot. So my name's Tyler Kammerman. I work as a private client advisor with Bank of the West. We recently joined. Mainly, I got them talked into that because I got accepted into the West Des Moines Leadership Academy. So, got the business to join as well. I work with the banks higher net worth individuals in a variety of different platforms, but work to give them kind of an elevated level of service above and beyond the retail platform. So that's what I do. Also, I'm just going to take this moment to say I got to drop off at about a little before 8:30 because I got another call added to my schedule. So I will pick Amy Barth.
Good morning. My name is Amy, and I'm the Executive Director at a new retirement community under construction in West Des Moines, Grand Living at Tower Place. So I'm sure several of you have seen the ginormous building under construction across the street from Hy-Vee on Mills Civic. We are scheduled to open in April. We are a 176 unit senior living community. And I will pass it to Cindy.
Who's also struggling with her mute button. I saw one of these calls, somebody had a hat. You're on mute, just to remind everyone. I'm Cindy Cronin. I'm with Oasis, a paychecks company. I've been with the organization for over 20 years. I work with small businesses and help them in all things HR and employee benefits in large pools and master plans. But probably what's most near and dear to my heart is I have about 100 nonprofit clients. Many of them you would know. And they're fun and special to work with. So that's a little bit about me. How about Eric?
All right. Hi, I'm Eric Torgerson. I am with DG Developers, and we develop mostly medical or senior care facilities. And I help raise capital for those projects from private equity, for private equity. So. And let's see, who am I going to pass it to? I got to look at some names here. Boy, Umesh, it's your lucky day.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Umesh Parekh, and we are putting up a preschool in Urbandale. It's called Primrose School of Urbandale, right next to Lifetime Fitness. And I have my daughter with me here. And when we're looking at Des Moines, though we have 5, 6 smaller towns, but it's in a very small vicinity. So even though we are in Urbandale, I think we can serve the community out here all the way up to Des Moines, or we can go all the way up to, I believe, Grimes and Ankeny too. So then my daughter brought this to my attention, and I said, why don't we go and join West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce and meet the nice people out here. So we here. And I'm gonna pick Trevor.
Hi everyone, my name's Trevor Otto. I'm a project manager for J.E. Dunn Construction. So daily, that means I'm usually out on a job site, hoping that it gets done on time and on budget. Happy to be the representative for the West Des Moines Chamber. We're down in Des Moines now, but had previously had an office in West Des Moines, so still have some ties there. And I will kick it to, I think, Norm, have you? I don't think you've introduced. We'll do Norm.
Hi, folks. I'm Norm Boaz. I own Vocal Arts Unlimited and the Speak Fluence, Make Your Voice Count trainings and workshops. I work with everybody from solo, one-on-one to larger groups and corporations. And I help people speak more dynamically with more interest, impact, and influence. And just finished with one of my corporate clients yesterday. It was an absolute joy to see the changes. Great to see you all this morning. I'm especially excited because I left my phone at the golf course and went and picked it up, so I feel whole again. Great to see you all. I'd like to invite Ria to speak to us.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Rhea. As my dad spoke earlier, I am the daughter to him. So we're with Primrose School of Urbandale. I guess a little fact about us is that we'll be opening this January, so we're very excited. And I will go ahead and pick. Danny, can you go? I know you're in the car right now, but.
You're on mute, Danny. I was on mute then too, trying to tell you you were on mute. So it's a vicious cycle.
Oh, you guys rock. Hi, everybody. Happy voting day. Is that better?
We're just, everyone's doing, yeah, that's perfect. Everyone's just doing a quick introduction of your name and where you work and something about yourself or where you work.
Perfect. Morning. Danny Byer, Iron Horse Wealth Management. I'm a lead advisor on the retirement plan team there. We got in line 15 minutes before 7 and we were still like the 40th people to vote in my little town of Dallas Center. So that's pretty awesome. I apologize that I'm not in an office right now.
No worries at all. And then I don't think Britain has introduced themselves yet.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, everyone. I'm Britton Klomstead here with SVN Create. We're a full-service transactional brokerage firm in commercial real estate. Little fun fact about me is I'm still up at Ames. I'm still in my last semester at school, but kind of part-time before I graduate. So mostly down in Des Moines working and excited to be here this morning with you guys.
Thanks for coming, Britton.
Yes.
Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Britton. We know each other, family, friends. I love it.
Awesome. And then I don't think Belong.
Sorry, it's Brandy. I don't know why it shows that way. And I apologize, my camera's not working well today. But my name is Brandy Long. I'm with Two Rivers Bank and Trust. I am a personal banker and I've been there for a little over almost 2 years, but I have 15 years in banking. My boss previously was really involved with the chamber, so I kind of took a step back, and then she left the bank, and then COVID happened, and the bank's been very not involved in stuff, so we're just kind of trying to get out front and center again.
Yay.
Awesome to hear that. And then Jennifer just joined us, but I don't know if she is on her computer yet. So anyway, we'll just get started then with the programming. So Danny already introduced himself, but Danny Byer is here to do the bulk of presenting to you all today. And I know he's in his, he's on his way to work, so it might be a little bit challenging. It might be a new experience for us. But anyway, I will hand it over to Danny. And Danny, you just let me know. I don't know if you can see the slideshow or not that I'm sharing. If you can, you just let me know when you want me to change the slide.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Happy COVID Chamber 101. I think this is our first one that we've done since March. Correct me if I'm wrong. But super excited to be with you all while I'm driving. I'm literally like 5 minutes from my office, so I promise the background is going to stop like going behind me here in a little bit. But this is one of the coolest things that I think has happened due to this pandemic. Who would have known 9 months ago that we would be able to do presentations by our phones while we're driving, stuff that used to be done totally in person. So I hope you're all adapting well. I hope you're all staying healthy. And like you're seeing here today, the chamber is adapting. It's moving forward. We're going to cover some of those things, ways for you all to get involved, make the most of your chamber membership, and hopefully get exactly what you're looking for out of being a member of the West Des Moines Chamber. If you want to go to the next slide, Bailey. There we go. So some facts to get started. Really, the research, as that slide says, shows that consumers really are more interested or more willing to spend money when they know that you are a member of a chamber. You guys can read all of the stats there. It is a super important fact just to point out that your membership tells people that you are involved in the community, shows that you're invested in the community. Despite what you may think as the chamber as an old organization or something that isn't valued as much anymore, Research just shows differently, especially with the fact that 59% of consumers think that being active in the chamber is an effective business strategy. I can say from personal experience that it's been an effective business strategy for me in my career, both at Cable Business Services when I was doing payroll outsourcing sales, as well as when I made the switch to financial advising here a little over 2.5 years ago. I'll share a little bit more of that story as we go through the presentation this morning. Go to the next slide. So this is one of my favorites. Ask yourselves a few questions here. How have you been involved in the West Des Moines community? My favorite one, and this was I think coined by Carol Chambers, our previous executive director. What is your risk of not being involved? And how can the chamber be a resource to help you with your business success or your personal goals? These are all things when I first joined the West Des Moines Chamber back in 2009, aging myself a little bit right now, that I sat down and I asked myself. In fact, I love to share the story when I'm meeting in person, when we do go back to having these kind of presentations in person, that I started my sales career in around 2009. My boss told me that there were 2 ways to be successful in sales. The first was to be really great at cold calling. And if any of you on this call have ever done cold calling, you will probably understand what I mean when I say cold calling sucks. It's really not fun. Or you can network and build a network. And so I really did try the cold calling thing for about a week. And after being sworn at a half dozen times after having multiple doors slammed in my face, I decided I was done with cold calling and I was instead going to jump on this networking thing. So I got on the West Des Moines Chamber's website because we were members at the time. And I went through and saw that there was an upcoming ribbon cutting the following week, the following Thursday. I really didn't know what I was doing at that point in time in my career as far as networking, as we've talked about, or business development. It really was my first true sales gig. And so I decided that I was going to give this networking thing a shot, blocked off my day that Thursday, and really just started and through everywhere else online, how to be an effective networker. Watch the old SNL Jack Handy skit. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. Gosh darn it. People are going to like me. And I got in my car for that ribbon cutting that Thursday night and headed to, sorry, my office alarm. At least we know I'm safe now and I'm not going to rear end anybody. Got into my car, headed to the Stowers Law Firm. They're still, I think, a chamber member. They're over in West Glen, literally right next to the chamber office. Got into my car, headed down the interstate. At every dash in the road, every mile marker, I got a little less excited, a little more nervous about what I was getting myself into as far as this networking stuff goes. And so got to that first ribbon cutting at 4 o'clock, and I just sat in my car. And stared at the screen, or stared at the steering wheel, trying to figure out how the heck I was going to get out of this car. How I was going to go meet people, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was terrified. I didn't know who I was going to talk to. Actually, I pulled in and out of the parking spot 4 different times, really trying to debate if I was going to go into this event or not. Luckily, another chamber member showed up, knocked on my window, and got me out of the car. And that's how I started my whole networking career, thanks to that chamber member. I walked in the door, started meeting people, started networking, started shaking hands. And all of a sudden, my business, after a while, started to take off from this benefit of just simply attending that first event. Now, it's not just that simple. You don't just get to show up to one event, and we're going to cover that a little bit more. But thankfully, because of that one chamber member willing to stick their hand out and say, hey, let's talk, I was able to really start my networking career as well as my chamber membership. I was able to get involved, and I was able to receive the rewards from being a member of the West Des Moines Chamber. You want to go to the next slide, Bailey? So the mission, the vision, the values, the goals, what the chamber is trying to do. I can't read these as well on my cell phone as I could if it was on a computer. Bailey, would you mind just hitting what the mission, the vision, values, and goals are?
Of course, yes. I mean, that was the most dynamic presentation I think I've ever seen. I don't know if people have had people change their setting during meetings before. So awesome. So we actually just recently went through a rebranding of our mission, vision, and values. So our new mission is to champion all things West Des Moines by strengthening our area companies, providing personalized resources, and attracting a top workforce to position West Des Moines as the best suburban city in America. And then our vision is to make West Des Moines the best suburban city in America to live, work, and play. Our values are at the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce. We are trailblazers, inclusive, passionate connectors, collaborators, and avid promoters. And then our goal is to help keep our area companies in business, our employees employed, and our region strong.
Awesome. And they do all that through a lot of the programming, a lot of the involvement, a lot of the events that we're going to talk about here as we continue through this presentation. And if you don't mind, I'm going to quick join from my computer now so I can actually kind of see the screen. So it might kick me out on my phone, but I will be right back. Thanks for the ability.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Danny, I can, I know we've had a couple people join. If anyone wants to introduce themselves, I know Jennifer was one. If Jennifer would like to introduce herself.
Hey, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I am not by where I can do a video at the moment, but yeah, I am Jennifer Esplund. I am an advisor for the senior living industry, primarily the real estate side of it. And my office is over here at the Regis building, right in the Chamber's backyard there. So I am looking forward to getting back involved in the Chamber, and look forward to hearing all the different opportunities that are out there, and seeing all you at the next networking meeting live.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. And then Danny, I don't know, are you good to go
Good.
then, or do I need to have someone else introduce?
If unless someone else is there and wants to go through the introduction thing now too.
Nope, go ahead. We'll let anyone else introduce themselves.
Perfect.
After you're
If you
done.
want to jump to the next slide. This is so much easier. Okay, perfect. So we've been talking a lot about how to attend that first event, kind of what to expect, grow your business. This is honestly why most people join the Chamber. You know, it's great to pay the dues. It's great to be a member. It's great to have a sticker that you can hang up in your door, in your lobby, that says you're a Chamber member. But let's be honest, if it was that easy to get business, we'd all be doing it. The Chamber would be the most valued organization in West Des Moines, which it's close. But it does take involvement. It does take energy. It does take some time and some resources from you. So the very first thing, and you're going to hear this as a theme as we continue, you have to show up. That sticker on the front door, the paying the dues, being on the website, being part of the membership directory, it's all great stuff, don't get me wrong, but the Chamber truly does build, and the relationships you're going to build is what makes this a great resource and a great tool for your business to grow. Now, when I say show up, I don't mean just show up to one event, say, man, I didn't get anything, I didn't get any new business from that event, and never show up again. Because if that's the case, you're not going to get what you want from your Chamber membership, from your Chamber relationship. As you can see there, the Chamber does between 4 and 5 events per month, everything from breakfast to after hours to lunches to just midday young professional things. There's the Leadership Academy. I can go on and on. There are tons and tons of different events, tons of things they do. In a normal year where we could be in person, you could literally go to at least one Chamber event a week, typically. So there's ways to fit into your schedule, whether you have time in the morning, whether you have time after work, whether you can take the lunch. There are ways to get involved. The important part of this, and the reason I say you have to show up, is because for the first 6 months when I was really truly starting out, I met a ton of people. I had a ton of great conversations. I didn't really get a lot of business right away because people didn't know me yet. People weren't comfortable with me. They didn't trust me. They didn't know what I did. They didn't know who I was, what I was about. All of a sudden there, around that 6-month mark, the corner turned and people started recognizing me. I became an ambassador. I started getting more involved. I was attending more events. I could walk into the room and know 3 or 4 people
I was starting to get introduced to other individuals, and business started to come from that. Not always business from the direct members that I was meeting with, but referrals from them. They were sending me their clients. They were sending me their people to work with. And within that first year, all of a sudden, over 30% of my annual revenue was coming from chamber relationships. And that has not slowed down, even to this day. I joke, I wrote a book called The Ties That Bind, Networking with Style, that came out in 2015 that kind of outlined what I did in order to do this business development, build these relationships, do the networking the way that I did. When I switched careers here in 2018, I told a couple of my friends, holy crap, I hope my book was right. I hope I didn't just make stuff up. And I really went back to the groundwork. I started with the chamber. I started meeting with people, started going and really just letting individuals know what I did, how I could help them, how they could help me. And it worked again. I was able to rebuild an entire business over the course of 2 years through relationships that I have garnered and put together with the West Des Moines Chamber and other organizations throughout the community. But without showing up, I never would have been able to build those relationships, and I never would have gotten that return. So show up, find the things you enjoy, find the events you enjoy, the groups, and attend those. Educational resources, so there's online resources available to you. I love the expert advice. We have a ton of great industry leaders as well as industry experts that are involved in this organization. They love sharing their information. They love sharing with the members. You probably saw, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, we had one of the global economic individuals from Principal giving us a report on the economic update. Again, local dude that gave of his time free of charge to chamber members to come and hear what he thought for the end of 2020, as well as what the economy was going to look like for 2021. You don't get that everywhere. So take advantage of those experts, take advantage of that education as it comes up. The business resources, again, increased visibility. There are places on the website, if you have jobs, internships, just basic press releases that you want the chamber to push out there, send them to Bailey. There's information, there's ways to get that stuff and let people know what's going on in your business. All you have to do is reach out and let them know how they can help you. And of course, advertising. We know you paid the dues. If you want to get even more out of your membership, there's sponsorships, there's email advertisements, there's website ads, there's social media plugs, there's event sponsorships, there's on and on and on. Again, you can reach out to Bailey, you can reach out to Kara, you can reach out to Catherine. They're more than happy to talk about these opportunities and what you can get for those dollars. None of them are really truly expensive things, but the return is fantastic if you're willing to put in the time afterwards and really go through with the obligations that you set forth when they sell one of these sponsorships, one of these advertising opportunities to you. Do you guys want to add anything to any of that?
I think you summed it up really well. You hit on a couple things that I'm going to talk about a little in depth a little bit more later. So thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So the events calendar screen, the review of what could be coming up, what has come up. As you can see, we've got the virtual breakfast before business. Those I think are done at least monthly, if not more often, depending on sponsorships and events. Rush hours are always a great thing. This was from 4 to 6. So it's not a true after hours, but it's something you can do on your way home. This Want to Stand Out 40 Under 40, that's an upcoming event. That's a great event if you are interested in that 40 Under 40 business record program, how they make the selections, what they're looking for. Get some insider tips from Catherine and her experience over at the business record. Again, one of those experts that we're going to use and abuse if we can do it. But the calendar out here that's kind of in the middle of this screen, if you just go to the West Des Moines Chamber website and go to calendar of events, you'll see on there, it's a really quick, easy pull down. You can see exactly what is happening, when it's happening, what it's about, technically who it's for. We've got some specialized events with kind of the women feature group as well as the young professionals group. If you're old and you want to attend the young professionals, by all means do it. It's not a requirement that you have to be under a certain age to be there. When I was super involved with the young professionals organization, we loved it when additional members of the community would show up, just because we truly did want to learn from those individuals. Probably one of the bigger ones, the virtual luncheon with Gary Barta on Thursday, November 12th. Jamie Pollard's already been in, and now it's Gary Barta's turn. So super cool to hear kind of how they've been dealing with all of the stuff the Big Ten's been dealing with over the past several months. Get some insights there. Again, not very often that you're able to get access to these types of individuals. So this is just a quick snapshot of what's been going on. I know the team is working really hard to continue to provide great programming, provide great resources for all of the members. So get on that calendar, get on the website, start registering, start showing up for those things. Again, start showing up. Want to go to the next one? The take advantage. So this just kind of goes through, do you want me to hit on this one, Bailey, or did you want to go through how the directory works?
Sorry. Yeah. Basically, the way the directory works is when you go to our website, there is a tab that at the top, business directory. You go in there and everything is broken down significantly by about anything you can think of. Every member is highlighted on there. So if you're looking to go to a car dealership and you want to know what organizations in West Des Moines are members, you can hit on that, find that right away. I know Holly is with us from Stivers. So then you know. So that's just another way we increase your visibility as well, because, you know, especially, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Rexplex that's opening up in the coming months. Catherine and everyone at the chamber has been getting a lot of calls asking for referrals. You know, we have a hockey team coming this date to do a tournament, and we're wondering what hotels are members of yours so we can stay there. You know, we're wondering what restaurants are members of yours so we can dine there. You know, it's just another way to be visible, another benefit to increase your business.
Perfect.
Danny, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about there, or if you want me to move on to the next slide, which is workforce development.
No, I'd say go ahead and go to the next slide there.
Okay. Perfect. So I think that wraps up Danny's portion. So thank you so much, Danny, for joining us and speaking to your incredible. Kara hyped up how good your speech was, and she was right.
I don't know.
Yes, now everyone knows.
Distracted. I appreciate everybody with your flexibility. I'm super to hear what the other two individuals are going to say this morning, because I know they're even better than I am. So I'm going to hang out.
Awesome. Thank
Yes.
you, Danny.
Thanks again, Danny. Yes. And now Kara is going to take over to talk about workforce and talent development.
Awesome. Yes. So workforce has been one of the things that we have recently wanted to get significantly more involved with. So we actually created an entire new position this summer, and that's the one that I transitioned into. So we have been able to really zone in and focus in on what the needs of our community and our businesses are in particular, and develop some different programs, some different initiatives to meet those needs. And obviously the needs have changed quite significantly with this wild ride of a year that we have been on. And so it's always evolving. So as I kind of go through the things that we have built up right now, if anything comes to mind that, you know, your business or a friend or family's business or someone could, you know, they have a certain need in particular relating to workforce, don't ever hesitate to reach out, because we are open ears. We love to hear that kind of stuff, because that's what our goal is as a chamber, is to make sure we're meeting those needs. So there's kind of two sides to workforce development. We've got the side of it where we want to retain, or we want to attract the talent to West Des Moines. And then part two is we want to retain that talent. So we try to have a mix of programs that the purpose kind of fits those two sides of things. And then another way that we break things down with workforce is more in a timeline setup. So everyone from high school students to retirees, that is going to be something that we want to make sure we're filling the gap. streamlining that across the board. So as you can see on the screen, we have some of our programs listed that are in existence right now. So first up, you'll see Your Turn On there. This is one for college students. So this occurs over the summer when students are typically in person in West Des Moines. This year it looks a little different with some virtual internships and different things, but we put on programming, 6 different events for these college students, and they are a mix of professional development, and then we also do networking as well. And like Danny said, that's something that so many people just, you're unfamiliar with it until you do it, and you kind of just have to jump in and do it. And so we felt that was really important to incorporate into this program so that they could not only meet peers and meet other interns and have those contacts, but also dip their toes in the water a little bit about what networking looked like. And then we also added some, and this was in our 3rd year this summer, we added some programming at the end that was more geared towards the personal development. So we talked about financial planning, budgeting, mental health, different things that are really important, and we need to address those as well with these students. So that's about a 3-month program in the summer each year. We did expand it during COVID since a lot of businesses had to cut internships. We didn't want to close the doors on those students because we knew that there was a lot of talent that was still out there, and maybe it just didn't work out with an internship this year. So we invited all students across the state, and actually we had some across the country. It was pretty cool to see who we were able to loop in, which was awesome because then we got to show off everything that West Des Moines is all about. So that one's always a blast. To kind of go through these other ones quickly, Trek Days. So everybody is familiar with career fairs. We do those as well. We definitely want to have a representation of West Des Moines businesses there. And we do hire our own interns, some unpaid interns as well to get some additional experience. But something that is unique that we created was a career fair with a little bit of a twist. Instead of us going to them, we actually bring them to us. We bring them to West Des Moines. So we work with the universities across the state. They bus a group of students in a particular major or some similar majors. And then we start off the day with a lifestyle presentation because research has shown that this demographic, this age group, they look at where they want to live, where would be fun and enjoyable to live, and then they start the job hunt from there. So we wanted to make sure to kick things off so they can really imagine themselves in our great community launching their career here. And then we bring them to different businesses in West Des Moines, and they get to not just get your foot in the door. They literally get to get their foot in the door. They get to meet leadership. They get to hear from young professionals that are there. They get to hear from HR department. So that's a really unique one that we've had a lot of fun with. We just started that last fall. And then we have something called the Student Advisory Council. This is brand new as well. So we take some of the standout leaders from the programs that I've touched on already, and we invite them to a meeting or a seminar every other month, and we have some continued professional development for them. So our first one's going to be about personal branding because that's an important thing for them as they're launching their career as well. And then we will also use that, it's the advisory council. So we'll also use that to get their input on things like our student newsletter and any other ideas that we have, because one of the most important things is to make sure that we are maintaining the connections that we build with them whenever we first meet them. So that's a fun way that we're able to do that and just get them in the door and introduced to even more businesses in the area. So our businesses, members like all of you, can have this top pool of talent to pick from. So then another one we're really excited about is West YP. And you probably haven't heard of this one yet because we are actually officially launching it in January. And we are rebranding it Accelerate. So Accelerate was our young professional program. So that, as Danny mentioned, it's geared towards mostly people in your 20s, your 30s ish. But if you would like to, if there's a certain event in particular that you would like to learn more about, come join. Absolutely take advantage of that. If you'd like to meet young professionals, absolutely hop on board to that. We welcome everyone to that. So every other month, we rotate between a social networking event and then a more structured event with some programming. So as Danny mentioned, one of the ones that we actually have coming up this month on the 17th, it is about business records 40 under 40. So for a lot of people, that is, a career bucket list item for people. And you have to go through an application process, and there are a lot of really talented applicants that are in that pool. So we want to give you the inside scoop on how that process works, what you can do now, what you can do no matter where you're at in your career to hopefully work towards that, because that's a huge accomplishment to be able to be chosen as an honoree in among that list. So that's one. We had one recently, C-suite hot seat, where we bring in different C-suite leaders and young professionals get to hear what they wish they would have known when they were their age. So it was really, really cool, really interesting to hear life lessons from them as well. So we try and keep it interesting, really, really valuable content, make it a lot of fun. The group we have involved now is great, and we're kind of restructuring things to have a little bit of a point system similar to the ambassador program that you'll hear about later. So there's a lot of different ways to get involved, even just as a student or somebody who's in the first, handful of years in their career. So then something that is one of my most favorite parts of this position is something called the West Des Moines Leadership Academy. And that is a 9-month intensive program. Shout out to Tyler. He's still on. I see him there. He is one of the participants this year. And it is similar in a way to 40 under 40. You have to go through an application process and get chosen. And we have 3 pillars that we focus on for this program. It's about leading yourself, leading others, and then leading in the community. All of our sessions each month, full day sessions, tie back into at least one or more of those, because we felt like that is something that makes you a really strong leader, is when you have a balance. You have to be able to lead more than just yourself. So if you have some leaders in your business or some potential leaders that you think could really, really benefit from this program, definitely have them check that out, connect them with me or connect with me yourself. And I can absolutely answer questions for you. We have fantastic facilitators. There's a class project that they work on every year that directly benefits West Des Moines, which is pretty cool. And I mean, two years ago, they raised over $50,000 for the human services in West Des Moines. So it has such a big impact. And the biggest piece of it is the relationships that you build. You get so close to people in your class and you work with them for years and years to come. It's kind of an accelerated version of networking, because you get those deep bonds with each other. So we've got an awesome class, 35 people this year. We're technically in our 13th year, but we are calling it our 14th year, since we figured 2020, we don't need to add a lucky number 13 to that. So we're jokingly calling it our 14th year, but a lot of history there, and some fantastic leaders that have gone through that over the years as well. So trying to go through all that quickly, that's kind of some of the programming and initiatives that we have developed right now. We also just closed out a workforce survey, and we will continue to do those maybe quarterly to analyze where our businesses are at. But as I mentioned, if there's anything for your business in particular that is a strong need of yours, please come to us. Another thing just to touch on really quickly, we do have on our website a job board and an internship board. So that's completely free. So be sure to take advantage of those whenever you have any kind of openings. And then let's see, anything I missed on there? We have a leadership newsletter, a monthly leadership newsletter that will be launching soon with a ton of awesome information in that. So be on the lookout for that in your inboxes soon. But with that, I think we've got some time for Q&A at the end. So I think I will go ahead and transition it on over to Anna.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kara. And yeah, there has just been a wealth of knowledge today. Lots of ways for you guys to get involved, take advantage of the membership. And believe it or not, there are still more ways for you guys to get involved, and that is through our committees. And our committees are a way for you or any member of your business to, take that extra step or make that extra commitment where you want to give back your time, your talents. We're a small but mighty team of 5 at the chamber, but we would not be able to do what we do without the support of our committees. So the people that are involved in those, help with a lot of feedback, a lot of brainstorming. We really do value the input and feedback provided by our members and the people that are a part of these committees. So first off, I'll talk about our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Now, this is a committee that we just started this year, and we are meeting around 2 to 3 times, or I guess closer to maybe 2 times a month right now. But it is, be a part of the solution on how we can support and become an ally for diverse businesses in West Des Moines. And we are just working on making West Des Moines an inclusive and diverse community for everyone involved. And, the chamber wanted to be a part of that solution and lead the change for that. And, our committee is growing each meeting. Each meeting, there's a new face. We're currently right now actually doing a fundraiser, which you guys have probably seen it on our social media or on our website, where we've created, We Heart Diverse West Des Moines and We Heart Diverse Iowa t-shirts and wall hanging. So if that's something you guys are interested in, feel free to check that out. And in regards to all of these committees, if any of these sound appealing to you or something that you would like to be a part of, please reach out to any one of the chamber staff members and we'd be happy to help get you involved. Next up, we have our YP committee. And I know Kara kind of touched a little bit on our YP programs. So you'd be working directly with Kara in terms of this committee, but this is designed for young professionals by young professionals. So you would be, kind of assisting with developing those quality programming, unique experiences, how to engage with the community, and so much more. So if you want more information on that, connect with Kara. She'll be able to help get you involved. Next up, we have our Explore West Des Moines committee. Now, this is a new committee. When I say new, I think we have our first meeting this Friday. So it is in the very beginning stages, but it was designed to help create and attract new, exciting, and community-driven events right here in West Des Moines. So we want to bring festivals, we want to bring events, we want to bring concerts. Obviously, when COVID is over and large gatherings are permitted, but we want to be ahead of things and start the conversations now and get the ideas rolling. So that is a new committee that we are putting together. And that is actually going to be run by our Teresa Bilagi, who is going to be our new board chair next year. So yeah, if you want more information on that, reach out to myself or Catherine, and we'd love to get you more involved with that. Bailey, I think you can go to the next slide. All right. Now, last but not least is we have our ambassador committee. And with us today is, I'm actually going to turn it over to Paul Scott, who is one of our amazing ambassador champions. And I think, Paul, you've been with ambassadors for, was it 2.5 years, is it?
Yep, that's correct.
Awesome. Well, I will turn it over to you, Paul, and let you talk a little bit more about ambassadors.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much, Anna, and good morning, everyone. You're all doing good. We're hanging in there, and you're getting kind of, as I've heard the phrase, fed by the fire hose today. It's unbelievable what the West Des Moines Chamber puts together in terms of a membership. I mean, you look at what the investment is and what you can get out of it. It's just one of the best investments you can possibly make. It is so awesome. And that was one of the reasons I got involved, kind of like what Danny had said, in terms of trying to, get our name out in the area. Marco Technologies was growing, and I wanted to get more involved in the community. And so we got our sticker on the window, and then I was like, well, I think I should probably go to a couple events and get involved. And so as I started to go to more and more events, I started to become friends actually with some of the people that were frequently at events, and they had these nice little name tags that were on their suit coats and their dresses and everything like that. And they were just super friendly, super welcoming people. And I started to understand that they were volunteers called the ambassadors that were at events to help folks feel comfortable at events and to feel welcomed and to kind of understand what to do so that you weren't walking into a room full of strangers and felt that you didn't have anybody that you could reach out to kind of, be under their wing, so to speak. And I'm like, that's a really cool program. I think I'd like to get involved and get one of those sweet name tags as well. And so what I ended up doing was getting signed up for the ambassador program. It was a really easy process. You basically just reach out to Anna and say, I'm interested in getting involved. And there's no like 20 push-ups or 20 pull-ups that you have to do to prove your worth or anything like that. And what was really cool was as time went on, the deep network that I would been able to develop with the ambassadors, because similar to the Leadership Academy and other types of programs, you're really working alongside of these other ambassadors at ribbon cuttings and other events, and you really get to know them. And some of these ambassadors have been that way for over 10, 20 years. And it's just a really awesome program, and an unintended benefit that I realized was going to those ribbon cuttings, because for me, I felt like, okay, yeah, I may not be picking up any leads at ribbon cuttings, but what I realized is that I was a part of somebody's history, because as they've been building their business, they have been wanting to get to a point that they could hold a ribbon cutting and welcome the community into their organization. And that is a monumental moment in their lives. And to be able to be there and to be involved with that piece of history was awesome. And, then beyond all of that, you have another opportunity as you're working to build your business to represent the chamber at meetings. And so there, say, for example, I've had this a few times that I've tried to hold some meetings from the Marco perspective and haven't been as successful from that point of view. But if I'm going to talk about the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce, they're all ears. And so I get a great opportunity to sit down with these people, share the value of their membership program and what is available for them. And then, with a couple minutes at the end, be able to personalize myself and say, oh, by the way, if you have any questions, this is what I do full time. It's a very fine line to draw, because this isn't a program that you want to, take advantage of from that perspective. But it's a value that you can use the trusted name in the community of the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce, and you're a respected ambassador representing that program, that it helps to take down some of those walls. And it's been a very, very profitable program from that perspective, in my opinion. And I encourage you to get involved, because, whether you're in it to grow your business, to grow your network, or just have fun, it's a very, very great program to get involved. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to connect with them, later today or in the future, virtually, in person, whatever you prefer, and kind of share some more stories. But thank you, Anna, for the opportunity to give my feedback on that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Paul. And yeah, as I'll just kind of reiterate what he said, if you guys ever have any more questions or would love to get more involved with ambassadors or any of the committees, our entire team is here to help make that happen. So I think with that, I will pass it back over to you, Bailey.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Paul. And thank you, Kara. That was all a bunch of great information. And like Paul said, it might feel like you're being fed from a fire hose right now. So we are recording this if you are interested in going back and reviewing any information that you think you just need a refresher on. So I'm going to talk really quick about our events and then go to our website and show you some of the resources we've been talking about today. So starting off, take advantage of virtual events. So one thing that we've prided ourselves at the Chamber is that we did not slow down at all when the pandemic took over. We really quickly transitioned to virtual events, and they've been very, very successful. because we have reiterated how these are just some of the benefits that we, networking virtually does look a little different than in person, but we've had great success with our networking events because people take advantage properly of all of the facets that come with that. And so this was just a quick breakdown we wanted to highlight to you of ways that you can really, really get your worth from those virtual events, like our breakfast before businesses, which we have one tomorrow. And it's very easy. Just make sure your name is visible. Have your camera turned on if you're able to have your camera turned on. Utilize that chat box to connect with people that maybe you don't know, maybe you're just getting to know, or maybe people that you've known for a while. Take notes. That's a big benefit during our luncheons and things like that, is you can so easily have our event on one screen if you have two screens or half your screen, and then a Word document on the other, and just take notes as we go along. Super easy to keep those on hand then. And then another benefit that we have is when you attend our events, we send out after every event a list of everyone that attended, their company and their email address, for you to easily connect with them on LinkedIn. So it's just another way to increase your network. Moving on to our next slide. Just quickly highlighting all of our events, and there are a lot here. So I'm not going to go into every single one in detail, but like Danny was saying before, we have 4 or 5 events a month. I think that might be light, honestly. A light month for us. So this is just a quick overview of those events we have. We have West Des Moines Edge events. West Des Moines Edge and Business Survival Toolkit are events that interchange with each other. They're every other month. So West Des Moines Edge is an opportunity for a member, usually a training member, to come in and offer a session free for our members for about an hour. Business Survival Toolkits, those are an hour, and they're a panel of people coming and speaking about a subject. We had a social media Business Survival Toolkit a couple months ago that just went over different facets of social media and how to take advantage of that. Breakfast before business, like I just hit on before, that's a networking event we do in the morning. Super, super popular during COVID because, as people point out, it makes you, the way we have our setup is we do 3 breakout rooms for 10 minutes each, and we have questions. And the nice part about the virtual setting is you don't get to choose who you're in a breakout room with. It's not, you don't talk to the same person you normally would. So you're forced to go out of your comfort zone a little bit there and meet some new people. So I will be sending out links to that if anyone's interested in joining us tomorrow morning. Rush Hour. This is our one event that we do in person during COVID. We've had one of these. They're 2-hour events. It's kind of like the breakfast before business, just 2 hours in person, food and drinks provided at the venue, depending on our host sponsor. Our membership luncheon is that Gary Barta event in November that Danny hit on earlier. So every month we bring in a different speaker to talk about their business, talk about something they've gone through in their life, something like that. So we have Gary Barta this month. We had Jamie Pollard in September. We'll have him next September as well. We had Brian with Technology Association of Iowa come in and speak about that, which was super, super interesting. And then our next big event we have coming up, if you can see in the green square on the screen, is our new member appreciation luncheon, and that is on Thursday, December 10th. And that is an opportunity for all of our new members to attend, and they get the opportunity to take the virtual stage and talk about themselves and talk about their business and introduce themselves. It's a great networking opportunity to really connect with the chamber. All of the other events, we've got our signature events then as well. If you're following us on social media, you'll see that we're announcing our winners of our first annual Best of the West Awards. That's a fun thing that we just started. We have our annual dinner in March. Keep updated on our speaker. We should be announcing that relatively soon. Catherine. We have Eat Week, which is something we do with restaurants. Danny talked about our economic update, which we had Bob Bauer come in and speak about the economic outlook for everything. It was so interesting. He went over different election results and what that would mean for the economy. Our first responders breakfast, we did that virtually this year as well. Super interesting. And our Citizen of the Year is something we do in June as well. So a quick overview of that. These are our social media channels. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second so I can share my browser with you all, so I can show you our website since we've been talking about it so much. All right. So here we have the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce website. This is the home of everything. So as you can see, we have up here member login. This is your base to access most of the deals that we've been talking about today, the benefits of your membership. We have the business directory right here. You can access our program and events here at the chamber calendar. We also have our resources center, which is where our expert advice lives. Also our press releases and our, which I'll be talking about just in a second here. Our member help center is here if you ever have questions about something that you're not able to access for your membership. We've got workforce development tab, which is where our job board resides, which Kara hit on earlier with the internship and job postings. And then we have our Explore West Des Moines tab, which has our community calendar, and then a directory of all the different things to dine, shop, play, stay, relocate, a map, and then some specials, which I'm going to hit on here. So like I said at the beginning of showing you this website, we've got our member login here. I'm going to show you our member information center and how you can submit different things for our website. So you can log into the member information center here, and you can also log into the member information center when you register for an event. So showing you our page for our breakfast before business tomorrow. So here we are at the member information center. So like I said before, this is your hub for everything, pretty much chamber-wise. You can do everything here from updating your company information. That includes adding new employees as they come in. You also can add things to our website like specials. So you do that from here. This is when you have any kind of deal going on with your company. Usually this is more of a retail or restaurant thing, but if you have something that you want highlighted on the website that people can access, it will also then be featured in our Weekender newsletter that goes out on Thursdays. You also can add news releases here, which as you saw, those get listed on our website. We then also add those to our Tuesday newsletter, which is our newsletter, really creative name, I know, which is just all information about everything West Des Moines. It's chocked full of community and business news and resources for everyone to use. You also can add your job postings here, and you add for your community events, you add those here on events calendar. So you can add an event if you, let's say you're doing a webinar on taxes. I don't know why I said that, but on taxes. You can add that event here, and that gets added to that community calendar I showed you on our website. You also can register for our events here. You can see all of our events are listed. The breakfast before business is here. You can do that just with a click of the button. So that is our resource center. And I think that's all I have to share with you. So now I think we're going to open it up for Q&A if anyone has any questions about all the information we went over today. Yeah, so any questions? And just feel free to either drop those in the chat box or unmute yourself. And just ask them anything. And while we wait to see if anyone has any questions, I don't know if anyone from the chamber team has anything that they want to add.
I just wanted to say this chamber team is incredible. I started on April Fool's Day, and it's kind of been a wild ride ever since because of COVID. And then the team, brand new except Kara. Kara is our chamber champion and brain. We've been asking Kara questions for the last 6 months. What do we do now? What do we do now? So she's been an incredible resource for us. And it's interesting. The chamber's been around for 96 years. That is an incredible legacy if you think about it. So, and I love to see the tools that Bailey showed. We are so into the year 2020 with our tools that you have, and it will work if you work with it. Just like everybody has been saying today, what you put into it is directly correlated with what you get out of it. So post your events, we'll promote your events. Post your press releases, we'll promote your press releases. I mean, who does that? It's an incredible way. You know, we are deliberate marketers, we are expert marketers, and each one of us has special skills in the marketing realm. So our job is to market you to not only West Des Moines, but the broader community 30.5% of our members are not even in West Des Moines. And that's because people want to reach the West Des Moines businesses, the community. We have the bulk of the businesses in our giant metro region. We have the bulk of residences. We start at 65,000 and it doubles every day because of our workforce at the Athenes, Wells Fargo, you name it. Now, because of COVID, that's kind of changed a little bit, right? A lot of people are working from home, but still people want to reach West Des Moinians. And so that is power for you because we reach the masses. Bailey has done an amazing job of amping up the volume on all of our social media assets. We started here with our reach and our influence, and now we're here. And that's deliberate because the more people we reach, that means we're reaching more people for you and your business. And that is the goal. So excited for you guys to plug in and take advantage of us. Please, that's what we're here for. So just so thrilled. We have some new announcements we're going to be making too in the future. So watch for those, some new ways you can plug in as well. So just excited you're here. Thank you.
No.
Catherine, can I jump in? Catherine and team, fabulous as always. Thank you. And Catherine, we've just felt palpably the energy that you've brought to the chamber. We appreciate you so much. So thank you for that. Quick question. I know it still may be premature even with all of this COVID stuff over time, but have you thought about in-person gatherings again and luncheons and so forth? It still might be premature. I'm ready to go, but do you have any gut feeling about it, or are you just kind of waiting for things to take their proper course before you think about that? I'm used to doing trainings over Zoom anyway with clients throughout the nation, so kind of used to this, still trying to get better at some of the other aspects of screen sharing and so forth. But I love the live events and I love speaking with live groups as well. What's your snapshot on this stuff?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking that, Norm. So the way we're approaching 2021 is right now we're looking for almost all of our events to be virtual until March. That's just our first approach. We are doing our rush hours. Our rush hours are going to be events that we're exclusively offering in person. So those will be an in-person opportunity. Kara and the YP program, they've been doing their networking events. They've been doing those at a hybrid option. Otherwise, we're really looking, we get very good attendance at all of our events, which is a great highlight for our sponsors and things like that. And we have been offering everything virtually just because of that turnout. So as of now, we're looking everything up to March 2021 is virtual. We are having a holiday open house at the chamber in December that people can come by throughout the day. Say hi to us and pick up a holiday snack and treat and things like that. But otherwise, most of our programming we're offering virtually just because, it's so hard thinking about offering hybrid events. We have to make sure that there's going to be a benefit for everyone involved, including those that are in person and virtual. And sometimes it just gets very murky as to how we make sure that's beneficial for everyone. So that's the way we're approaching it. Thank you for asking that question, Norm.
And Norm, another thing that Nicole's done over the past few months is, Nicole, you sent out 2 different workforce surveys now, right? 2 or 3, I think.
I sent 2 COVID surveys and I think your one workforce survey. Yeah, we got some interesting results. People were kind of split 50-50 back in July if they wanted to do anything in person or if they wanted to do it virtually. We had been hearing a lot of feedback about we want to do in person, but it actually was kind of split 50-50 from the responses we got back on that question. So we're kind of taking it month by month, day by day, and trying to do what's best for everybody and safest kind of for everybody at this point.
Absolutely. And one thing I did forget to hit on when I was talking about our events, if anyone is interested in sponsorships or hosting or anything like that, reach out to Anna. We're planning for 2021 now. she can connect with you about anything. We've also got advertising opportunities in our newsletters. You can reach out to me or Kara about that if you're interested in any of that stuff. Yeah. Do we have any other questions? We're wanting to get back in person as soon as possible. I can tell you that we're all itching for it.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to spotlight our January 14 West Des Moines Chamber Luncheon. So this is not until 2021, but we're doing an event called Inspire 2021 because, oh my gosh, we could use a dose of inspiration right now. So our speaker lineup is incredible. We have Dr. Richard Deming, Simon Estes, Renee Hardman, Dan Houston, Sue Karadia, and Beth Shelton. That is going to be a great way to kick off the year. That is just a taste of what 2021 is going to bring to our community. We're so excited.
Yeah. Awesome. And I'll send a follow-up with some of the events we talked about. Not all the events, because that would be overwhelming, but some of the events that we talked about today, if anyone's interested in joining us. But if there are no questions, we can wrap up early, give you 20 minutes of your day back. But thanks again to Danny for giving us that presentation in so many different settings. That's going to be one to remember for sure. So next time we expect the same, from your car, maybe add another location in there. Maybe you'll have to come to the chamber office too. Awesome. And thank you, Paul, for joining us as well, talking about the ambassador program. And thank you to the rest of the chamber team for joining us today. And thank you to everyone else. Hopefully, and if anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to email me and ask. Awesome. And this is recorded. This will be up on YouTube. I'll send the link out in a couple of days. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Wrap up for the day.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thank you so much, everybody.